All right, you ready to go upstairs?
Let's go upstairs.
One thing I want to pause here before we do that is just to, again, get another perspective on this grand entrance with this beautiful flow up the staircase. Here's the landing. We were underneath the landing in the 1920s bathroom edition. The staircase has seen some wear and tear, some fun times I think have been had in here. That's all stuff that can be replaced. Probably elements that were purchased, not handcrafted specifically for this house, not custom. It's going to take some craft to replicate those. This Capitol has been really pretty seriously damaged.
Yeah, it really seems like it was hit with a big piece of furniture or something as things were moving through this space, but it also appears that parts and pieces have been literally hot glued over time to hold it back up. So this is another artisan that we need to add to our team.
Yeah, and you know, I would have thought it's carved wood, but we actually found this Capitol in the attic, and this is a piece of plaster or maybe even terracotta. Like, it looks like it was made in some kind of mold, and so, you know, it's painted to look like wood. But actually, when you look at some of the dings in these capitals, you can see it's plaster. So it's a plaster craftsperson who would need to restore these.
And making it all the more fragile as it projects out against the columns there.
Yeah.
So it's no wonder it's been damaged.
Yeah. I mean, another story.
I
wonder what happened there.
It would be great to know certainly what happened if this house could talk to us.
Totally.
Yeah.
So much detail to look at just from the kind of the glow of this jewel-like stained glass and this, you know, newel post here. We're crossing from that threshold, from the public space up to the private space, and then we have this little pause here on the landing.
And
I
our
kind of love this picture.
I think it's quite charming. It's like the guardian of the house in a way.
Yeah, I mean, and just having like this electrified newel post is, you know, connected to the General Electric history of Schenectady. I love the fact that there are these built-in bookshelves here. Again, it's this kind of transitional, public-private, cozy space, and another beautiful radiator.
Yeah, and it's definitely, again, another scale moment for me, because oftentimes landings are just a turnaround. You know, you make them as small as they need to be comfortable and functional, but this is extended, it's more grand, and it allows it to also be a bit of a room.
Yes.
And I just love that in this house. There are these nuanced moments where somebody was extraordinarily intentional about saying, like, this is actually spectacular.
Again, a framed view, very intentional. And when this house was built, it was before the GE plot was developed, so that was still farmland.
Exactly. So again, pastoral.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then cozy, you know, bringing in this element sort of under the landing above us, and the timbers on the ceiling, and that replicates sort of the Inglenook ceiling detailing as well, and being able to come over here and perhaps sit with a book. It's a lovely gesture and a really nice way to transition from this big grand entry moment to the private quarters of the second floor.
Yeah, we do have a challenge here with this floor. Most of the floors are in pretty decent shape, but this is pretty extraordinary.
Yeah, this is another moment I feel like I do wish this house could talk to us, because this is so damaged. It's moisture, it's water. We don't have
so it could be some of this over here.
Yeah.
It could be that the radiator was leaking.
Exactly.
And just the pitch of the floor, maybe when they put that bathroom underneath, you know, this may be shifted and there's a pitch back this way. It also could be that a previous owner maybe was keeping some pets on this landing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the level of deterioration here is going to present a challenge for us because all the other floors, it's pretty clear we refinished them. They're good to go. This may require some surgical replacement.
Yeah.
There's definitely some mysteries on this landing. Unlike other rooms in this house, there's some pieces that look like they've been removed.
Yeah,
There's
really.
breaks in millwork. There's this low ledge kneeling or standing stool that it's hard to imagine what that might have been used for, but
And it's not 100% clear if these were original or they were added later because they're not quite the same quality of
no,
wood.
and they're not the same color of
Yeah.
stain either.
Yeah.
So yeah, some good mysteries here that maybe we'll solve as we get into it.
Okay, so another nice landing moment here. And then we come up to the second floor. So this is very much private space up here. Bedrooms all around us. But I mean, one of the really character defining features of this house is this floor plan. All these rooms and doors going off at different angles. The big challenge up here, I think, there's so much space and there's so many bedrooms, is getting the kind of bathrooms that I think we expect in the 21st century. And again, I always say with bathrooms, you know, they have changed over time. I think that, you know, you want to respect the integrity of historic bathrooms that exist, but so often they've already been altered. And just finding space in the footprint up here for having modern bathrooms is going to be really key.
It will be, and it's an interesting challenge because often we don't have enough space. We almost have too much space up here. So we have to really decide through studies and conversations with the owners, what is the right bedroom count? And then what's the right bathroom count? And how do we really capture the essence of what the space holds and thread in some of these new pieces respectfully? Because these rooms, interestingly, are also very generous. A lot of them even have closets. The bathrooms are small. And the rooms, I think their challenge is most of the rooms are not only accessed from the hall, but from each other. So you're always moving in through the space in a circular pattern, and it's not efficient. It's hard to furnish.
Yeah.
So we will definitely be taking a look at all of those things and working very closely to understand, you know, what's precious to guard and where is the flexibility to adjust.
Absolutely. All right. So this is just such a beautiful room with the projections, like this loggia kind of bay window here. These beautiful original windows with this kind of Gothic framer tracery in the mullions here. So we can see some of the windows issues.
Yes, very much
We're going to have to contend with. Oh, and I'm always noticing new details. So this is faux painted. So the sash is not the same wood as the trim, but it's faux painted to match. That's
amazing.
Interesting. And again, the fact that nobody painted them.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, very much so.
This is a good place just to talk about how these windows operate. So you've got their double hung, counterweighted windows with the rope, the cord. So there's a weight that's dropped into this pocket here. And the way to get into that pocket is you've got this stop that you actually have these exposed screws. So it's very easy to take off this stop. You would take out the window. When you get inside the pocket here, there'll be another panel you can remove. And then you'll be able to access that. You can replace the rope. I mean, it's a really simple mechanical system. And
It's amazing.
You know, pretty straightforward to restore.
This cord here appears to be the only one intact of all of these windows. It's interesting to me. Do they just fall apart over time? These almost feel
Like somebody cut them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Another story.
Yeah.
But and also with the original sash lift hardware.
This is a good room to think about in terms of some of the challenges that exist on this upper floor in general, with all of these connections that create circulation outside of the hallway. So for example, hiding behind this door here is a little bathroom that's tucked in the corner and connects to the bedroom beyond. Similarly, we have, I'll call it a Jack and Jill closet, where you can literally pass through to the bedroom adjacent. And there is a closet moment, but it's not particularly functional.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, so you've got the bathroom right on the other side of this wall.
Yeah. And here's the other side of that bathroom. So the bathroom itself is pretty cute and functions just fine. But we'll have to study, not everybody loves a Jack and Jill. It feels a little vulnerable.
Yeah, so depending on whether that is the primary bedroom for the new owners, or we've talked about taking space in the attic, and maybe that becomes a primary suite, and these are guest bedrooms.
Yeah.
So again, the program will kind of dictate that.
Yeah, and guide us.
I think that, up here, we've got a lot of the same issues that we saw downstairs, original floors that need some treatment, but, here we are in this corner tower, all of those issues that we were seeing on the exterior in terms of water and drainage, the deterioration of the facade, it's really coming into play on the interior.
Yeah.
You see this, what's your analysis of what's going on here?
It looks very bad, but everything's fixable. So I think, one of the interesting things about when you come into a space and you can see the sky and the windows literally melting, it can scare certain people away. But for, I think, true old house lovers, this is not scary. This is fixable. It is going to take some very intentional corrective work. So we were talking outside about how we need to really address the roof and the water infiltration and the leaks. I mean, this whole situation here, this window, of all the windows in this entire house, this whole trio will need the most work, because we don't know how far and how deep this damage goes. We can imagine that this is tracing downstairs. We saw it on the roof of the porch. There's a lot of water leakage points that we're seeing there. So in my mind, this is an issue that penetrates through the whole wall.
Yeah, to the point that it is pretty structural.
Yes.
And this is not a case of scrape and paint.
Right.
This is not even plaster repair. It is really peeling it back to, where's the source of the problem? How far has it penetrated? What structural damage has been done? And rebuilding. When I first visit a property and I'm doing, a site consultation, I'm getting the overall effect, but I'm also zeroing in on those character defining features. What are the things about this house that, again, they don't have to be original, but historic. They somehow tell the story. They give the house its character. So the character defining features, the things that no matter what, bathrooms, kitchens, all those other renovations, mechanicals, structural repairs, we want to make sure that we keep these elements.
We are guarding them.
Yes,
Yeah.
because without them, it's just not the same.
Yeah.
These windows are truly one of the most special features of this house. Unfortunately, they are also some of the most damaged features. Restorable. To recreate a window like this would just be exorbitant. I mean, the quality of the wood, the curve of the glass. I mean, this is a place where you really can read the footprint and the plan of this building in the windows, and in, you've got this curve, and the glass continues that curve.
Yeah.
The sash themselves are curved, and then the round arch at the top. we've got to do whatever we can to hang on to these.
Absolutely, and they tie into one of the most prominent elements of the house, which is that big tower that you see from the front elevation.
And you see the evidence of that exterior deterioration and the stones that have just popped off and landed on the roof. Just a reminder that, like you said, we've got to start from the top down, really, because the water issue in this house and just the cycles of nature have really taken their toll. This is part of the creative work, is figuring out how to go about these repairs.
Yeah.
And yes, we all want to see the transformation and the new colors and furnishings and the materials, and we're going to get to that also, because the use and the final vision, we have to work backwards from that.
Definitely.
But we're also working forwards from what is a pretty serious state of deterioration with this house.
And I love the idea that technical work can be so creative. There is so much beauty in that, thinking about how does one step into even starting and approaching how to investigate this. And I think with this house and the story of it, it can be a real template going forward for other projects, because the process that you've taken from the get-go of what are the character defining features, what makes this house special, what are the things that we need to preserve, and then applying that to the process of technical investigation and then creative process. Like, what a wonderful opportunity for us.
Yeah. We're leaving this bedroom and we're entering one of these kind of
It's like a
in-between
secondary
spaces.
hall.
Yeah, exactly. With this amazing linen cabinet, beadboard linen cabinet. And then we're connecting to, you kind of almost need a map.
You do.
Find
It's
your
a very
way
disorienting
around
floor
here.
plan.
So another bathroom, another step back in time. Could be, 1930s. It's pretty. This blue tile, the bullnose top, the floor. I love the tub with the chamfered corner. Some of these accessories, like the towel holder and the soap dish, they're so sculptural.
They are, and the fact that somebody took the care to build them in that way is definitely a nice feature.
Kira, do you see an opportunity maybe to salvage some of these fixtures, even if we don't end up keeping this bathroom as it is?
Certainly, and this bathroom actually may be one that we do decide to keep. We restore it, we keep it, and we look for other opportunities to do an additional bathroom.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of interesting features in here. It's very charming. The built-in shower, the tile work is great. As a guest bathroom, it's pretty good.